What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to part 2 of this AI only game where we've pitted the biggest warmongers of normal Civ games against each other, and it turns out none of them want to kill each other. Well, they do. They are fighting a lot, but there is not many cities falling. It's been probably one of the more balanced, probably the most balanced game of all time, which is pretty interesting. But as I promised, we are going to do a part 2, and we are going to do the highlights, more approach for this one. We sort of went over the events at the end of the last episode. There should be a card or something popping up right now. If you haven't seen that, to go check that part out. But we will just get straight into the action and let it flow, and we're going to hopefully, fingers crossed, get down to one Civ remaining. We are on quick speed, so my sort of idea in my head is probably I'll assess it as we go along, either turn 250 or 300. If the Civs have reached the end of the tech tree, I'll try and make them fight a little bit earlier, because in the last series or last game I left it till the end and it just crashed because there was too many units by then. So I'll make it clear when, if I artificially get involved, but that we'll try and do something then if there's a couple of Civs left. But yeah, I mean, at the moment it's pretty balanced, so we'll see how things pan out. Okay, first major city probably to change hands in the whole game. I know Persia died, so that's a bit harsh, but the Iroquois grabbed Persepolis off the Mongolians in a peace deal, which means they get a 26 pop city, which is great. Bad news, it's going to be in resistance for 24 of those next turns, but overall that's still pretty good, I think, grabbing a 26 city, because the Iroquois have not really made anything else stick in terms of attacks. Okay, so the Iroquois making progress. They conquered 2 cities off the Aztecs, one through a peace deal and one through force. And as you can see, there's planes now in the world for multiple Civs. Greece is still limping towards taking some of these other cities. And there it is, the Huns conquer Nineveh off of the Assyrians. It is the first time one of the main Assyrian cities has fallen. It's taken a very long time, turn 172. And as that happens, the Iroquois conquer a city off the Greeks. That is a pretty fresh war that has just broken out, and there we go. It's going to be tough to push on further. This area is full of citadels and mountains. Not going to be fun. And I think that's the final ideology, Assyria going order, as the Huns went autocratic a few turns ago. The Zulu also peace out with Greece, and Greece did not get this city in the peace deal. And as you can see, there is just they are just accelerating through the text. There's battleships popping up, bombers, triplanes. I saw Rome had a pretty healthy navy here. So it's pretty interesting as things develop. But yeah, everyone's looking pretty powerful tech-wise. So it is incredible that they've just all managed to survive this long. Apart from Persia. They're just the outlier here. Okay, we have a big war that's broken out between Rome and Greece, and this is huge. We've got units all over the place. As you can see, Rome's up here as well. There's planes on both sides. Greece had plenty of land units. There's paratroopers, and Rome immediately takes the city of Tarsus, which I am struggling to find, but trust me, it's there. There it is. Rome immediately gets that city. Looks like they're going to take Mycenae as well pretty quickly. They're putting pressure on Sparta. This is a big start, but there is a chance Greece does take their city back, although actually there's not, because the Aztecs go last. So not this turn, which means Rome might be able to get a foothold here, and this could be the moment. This could be the big moment where a Civ just starts to fall apart. I'm trying, Greece. I'm trying to get you unembargoed. It ain't working. But here we go. Let's see what Rome's turn looks like here. The Greeks do not take anything back. They do peace out with the Assyrians, which is probably a smart move. Here we go. Rome. Big turn. Are they going to grab any more cities? It's making us wait. Loves building the tension. Anytime. Oh my goodness, they took 3 cities in one turn. Okay, they took Mycenae. They took Mutunzini up here, this island, which I think was more luck than anything, that they had a privateer kicking around. And they took Tabrits, which is... that's what I read that as. Where? thought that would have been a Persian city. I'm so confused. Oh, it was the old Mongolian city up in the north. They took that as well. Oh, wow. Okay, so that now pushes Greece up into this corner. I mean, they do still have 2 cities over here as well. That's not what you want if you're Rome. They do reconquer one of those. Oh, that's brutal. It was like a 14 pop, and now it's just down to 3. But yeah, this could be big. This could be a real turning point, because the game's just not really had that clear candidate. But if Rome absolutely batters Greece, that would change that. And there we go, another Hunnic city conquered. Maybe Assyria may also be bowing out of this game. They were kind of solidly in last place, but there we go. Rome goes again and grabs the city of Mycenae. And let's see if they turn this. Oh yeah, this could be brutal. They definitely seem to have a numbers advantage here. They could easily wrap these cities up. The planes won't be able to escape if the range gets too far to move as well, so that's something to bear in mind. Technically, I think the Iroquois is also still here, so they might sneak in and grab something. Okay, Rome going to have another turn. I think this will be another successful one. It is. They conquered 2 more cities. Halicarnassus falls. I think 2 planes went with that to Rome, which just leaves 1 city out here on the Greek west. Iroquois grab Broadway in the middle, and they retake the first city from this game to fall, which was the city of Aretium. That is back in Roman hands. So not what the Greeks would have wanted. Okay, this could be one of the biggest turns in the game. Rome has 3 of Greece's sort of primary, not Athens, but primary cities on the ropes. They could pull this off. It would be crazy, but this is big. 1, 2 or 3 or none. How many cities will they get in one swoop? I feel 2. I think the middle one might be a stretch. Oh, I called it. There you go. Knossos and Sparta fall to Rome, and Rome now has Athens in sight as well. Ooh. Assyria is holding on. They might finish above the Greeks at this rate. This is pretty destructive from Rome. And while this has been going on, I just looked over. There is like a huge battle between Mongolia and Zulu. No one is conquering any cities, but they are just pummeling each other with like planes and rockets and missiles. It's brutal. There's naval battles, but yeah, no one's really winning that one. But that's just going on in the background as Greece retakes Sparta. But I'm imagining they might drop 2. Potentially this one could go if they hit it with enough, and there's a lot in the region. Again, I'll say 2. Be a cautious one. Oh, there is 3. 2 here, and then a 3rd one over here. So yeah, Greece getting pushed further and further into the tundra as Sparta falls again, and Corinth for the first time, and the remains of Greek's army. It's just like 6 cannons, and you're going up against. There is rocket artillery in there. It's not as frequent, but there is definitely rocket artillery. Probably the most advanced unit on the battlefield at the moment as the Aztecs grab the Kremlin. They're kind of sitting very peacefully through all of this, as are the Iroquois. Kind of just spectators in this one. I mean, the Iroquois have got probably the hardest position because I get they could go for Mongolia, I guess, so maybe not, but certainly you're just looking at a Rome who is starting to kick into gear here. Starting to look very good. Probably, there you go, conquering another city in Argos, and has Phasalos now on low health and is setting their sights. They're in the suburbs of Athens as well. And there we go, Rome now takes the city of Phasalos. They're closing in as the Iroquois do get the Eiffel Tower in the background, but Athens is now on the chopping block. Rome might be going for the jugular here. They might be going for the complete elimination of Greece. I think this is the 4th war between them. And yeah, the first 3, 1 city changed hands in the very first one. Rome's held the grudge, and it looks like they're just going to wipe the Greeks out here. This is pretty brutal. Okay, here we go. Rome's turn. Could they do it from pretty much fairly close to full health? It would be quite impressive. No, they don't quite get it this turn. One thing to bear in mind is all those Roman units. Actually, I say that a lot of them are still here, but they could have brought a lot of these over. I think some of these would have been a part of, or at least trailing. They were probably slow getting here and then quicker to get up north. But obviously it's freed up. It's no longer a two-front war. This is just one border. And yeah, I think probably next turn we're going to see some more cities dropping. Potentially more than one. It's not looking good for the Greeks, as the World's Congress becomes the United Nations. Good timing. And boom, Rome takes Athens. Ephesus, the new capital, is also plunged pretty low. This is quite the effective showing, and I think there's 3 cities left for Greece. I don't know if they have others. Probably not, sort of lurking out there. The Iroquois and Huns have sort of done well to grab all the islands off of the coast here. It's an Aztec, but there doesn't seem to be any Greek islands kicking about, so I think this will be just Greece over and out when this is over, which could be very soon. This turn is going to be tough. Yep, there goes another city. It's not looking good for Alexander. It looks like 8th place is coming. Assyria is clinging to life. It's getting close, but I think the Huns don't quite have the same technological advantages that the Romans have in their war. This is much more even. I think they're the 2 lowest tech civs fighting each other. Although, yeah, Greece is pretty low at this point, and all their boats are getting killed as well. The Iroquois is the first civ with the Manhattan Project. Interesting enough, not Rome, which is good. There's competition. They are certainly looking pretty big on that mini-map in the corner. I've moved my microphone further away because I'm still noticing it's like maxing out. I'm not an audio specialist, whatever the word is. Sorry for your ears. I'm trying. I keep turning the sound down a lot in the editing software, so hopefully fix it. But yeah, I've moved the microphone right back to the screen, and it's kind of blocking the mini-map. But there we go. Rhodes does fall. And that leaves 1 city, 1 left for the Greeks. This has been rough. Oh, the Zulu do complete the Manhattan Project like a few turns later, like 2 turns after the Iroquois, so maybe there's other civs here we have to still consider, but Rome was certainly taking a big leap here, just conquering a whole nother civ by themselves. I thought we were going to have to start seeing some teaming up to get to this stage, and there it is. The Greeks are semi-eliminated. They're not dead yet, but I will go in and kill them if they don't, if Rome pieces out prematurely, I guess. They normally do, but they haven't done yet, so maybe they're going for everything. They don't want those aircraft carriers getting away. Oh no, it finally happened. The Assyrians lose their capital. They actually retook this city before this happened and then lost it again, but they've put up a good effort. They are now down to the 1. They might get this back if they're lucky, but yeah, I'm not sure how well that's going to go. Also, Rome is at war with the Zulu. They declared war on the Zulu at the same time as Greece. I think they are actually, yeah, they've cleared up this area, conquered all the cities out here as well that were Zulu. So that's impressive. I don't think they're going to trouble the Zulu at home too much. There's still that battle with Mongolia. Assyria is falling back and forward, and there's also a land ship, which I know you're like, why is he getting excited about a land ship? They're pretty rare we see land ships or tanks used in AI games, so that's kind of cool. It's the same with and I think it's something someone said it's something to do with the AI's like programming or something ages ago, or just like efficiency, and obviously it's deity AI, it's going to be smart, but I get like the giant death robot is another one. I'm pretty sure they like never build those. I think that might be more to do with they've used all their uranium and whether they would actually consider it if they had some or not. I don't know. Well, Mongolia and the Zulu pieced out. I don't think anything changed hands. Can't promise, because there is like a bajillion islands around the map at this point. There was a lot more than I pointed out in episode 1. None big, but just lots of one-tile islands, which everyone has settled. And there it is. The Assyrians eliminated from the game. I think that puts them in 7th place. And then there were 6: the Huns, the Zulu, the Aztecs, the Mongolians, the Romans, and the Iroquois. And the Iroquois do, just as I was going to say, not much going on in the world, go after Mongolia again, and they kind of need, I would say, if they want to win, to deliver a bit of a kill shot here. Sorry, a war with the Aztecs, not the Mongolians. What am I saying? My bad. There you go. You were all typing out comments like, George, it was a war with the Aztecs, not the Mongolians, and I stopped you. I was just in time, hopefully, before you sent that comment. Unless you paused the video. Now you're going to delete that comment. Rome completes the Pentagon. Okay, Mongolia versus the Aztecs. That is... They joined the Iroquois. This could get messy. In the middle of the map. And who is this? Montezuma? Okay, that's a city out here somewhere. That's that one going to the Huns. So the Aztecs are slowly losing stuff around the world, which is not what they would have wanted. Rome joining the dogpiling on the Aztecs. I don't think that'll be super important unless they try and paradrop in like a ton of troops, which isn't impossible because they have a ton. But the main focus will be on the Mongols, who look like they're put some real pressure on. 4 cities currently under threat, and obviously the Iroquois are trying to get through as well. They're going to struggle, but they are trying. And then you have Rome just spamming out units. Oh, they are going after some of the islands actually, dotted around the map. Okay, I was waiting for it to happen, and it has happened, because the Aztecs are at war with just about everyone else. And now the Zulu join in on the unprotected flank. This could be really bad for the Aztecs. Mongolia's been putting in work. They've taken a couple of cities. Oh, where are we going? A couple of cities so far. And looks like they're going to grab this one. And that probably is going to be about it for what the Aztecs can put up in defense. The Iroquois have found a way through the south here as Mongolia have run out of units. So it's not looking good. And with the Zulu, yeah, coming in completely rearmed, this could be pretty brutal. Tula falls as well. They'll probably get this back just because they have units in the vicinity, some tanks, but we'll see. So we didn't see in the last game anyone use any nukes in the end. There is an awful lot in this game between... oh my, what the heck? Okay, before we talk about that, how did this happen? Okay, well, that's... I think it's because all the spawns are blocked. That's probably what's happened there. But there's an atomic bomb there. The Iroquois and Rome, obviously I can't just go around the map finding them all, but I saw at least one. I mean, there's 4 Roman nukes there, atomic bombs. There's a nuclear missile in that city. There's 2 more atomic bombs and a nuclear missile. 4 more atomic bombs. Yeah, Rome is dominating the arms race. There's now 3 atomic bombs and 2 missiles to the north. There's another atomic bomb within this little bit of their navy. They're keeping the border very clear of planes. It seems like there's a bit of respect maybe between the Iroquois and Rome. The Iroquois do also have a load of nukes. They've not, okay, I say a load when we've just seen like Rome with like 15 plus. Maybe they're a bit behind, but they do have some atomic bombs on the border here. Just keeping an eye on this Aztec war. As far as I'm aware, no one else has built one. I checked the Zulu. I know they have the technology, but they do not have the actual weapon at this time. But it's just something to bear in mind. As oh, the Zulu did sneak in and grab this city as it fell, and they should, yeah, they should get this one at some point very soon. And it's starting to fall apart for the Aztecs. That sucks for them. Although they are still pushing back here, this brave tank unit. But that might be its final turn alive, to be honest. Oh, the Huns have a nuke as well, atomic bomb. So, there we go. The Zulu don't have one yet, though, but that might just be uranium driven. Yeah, they have a couple. Well, here we go. The Aztecs starting to crumble. This city has fallen to the Zulu, and they're closing in on 2 more. Bit more stale on this front. Most of the Aztecs troops here holding on. This city has been on no health for like 15 turns now. It's getting pretty close, but we'll see. The plan is we're going to go to turn 250, and then I'm going to make everyone else fight each other. That's the plan. And there it is. For the first time in this huge war, Mongolia does conquer this city. It's going to go back and forth multiple times from just the look of these units around, but there we go. It falls for the first time, and that's a big milestone for the Mongolian war effort. Oh, and there's an even bigger one as the Zulu grab 2 cities in the west, although the Aztecs will grab one back temporarily. Oh my goodness, what's... Oh, there's a peace deal. I was so confused. The Zulu took cities they weren't even close to. I was so confused. But that makes sense. There's a peace deal. So they grabbed these 2 cities. I think they actually pieced out for all 4 of them. But they were about to take these 2. And then, yeah, they took these 2 as well. So the Aztecs sort of spared, but they lose so much. And for the Zulu to gain a 15 and 21 pop city at full size is very good for them. I think they got this one too, actually. Yeah, they didn't conquer this one, so they got this one as well. So they got a 17 pop. So that leaves the Aztecs with 4. Caveat to that is there's probably a couple around the map. I can see, yeah, there's a couple islands. But the mainland, there's only 4 cities left now. And within one turn, the Huns and Rome go after the Zulu. That is, maybe I'm not going to have to make them fight each other. They're just going to do it for me. They're just getting there. Mongolia is closing in on the Aztec capital. There is another city falling on the coast here. It's not looking good. For the first time, the capital is being bombed, I'm guessing by planes. It's looking pretty rough for them. Oh, they do grab that back briefly. But we'll see how that goes. I've also seen Rome is just going around the top of the map, sort of vacuuming up Zulu-controlled islands with and their submarines. The Zulu probably don't even know they're there, but very menacing. They've not used any yet. I've not seen any. The Hun-Zulu war's been pretty brutal as well. This might be a content. The Huns certainly have nukes, and they are right there, but I don't think they've used any just yet. Everyone's showing some restraint at the moment. And the Zulu don't have any, as far as I'm aware, unless there's one hidden away somewhere. Mongolia do grab this city again. Do you know what? As good as deity AI is, Mongolia has all these boats, and they have not once brought them into this inland sea where they could have just won the war, because this is all the Aztecs will really have, right? This navy wouldn't have affected Mongolia too much. They only got this city like 2 turns ago, so yeah, they could have made this a lot quicker, but doesn't matter. They're getting the job done. And we can see the Huns are fighting the Zulu in multiple locations, so it's not just about fighting through this mountain range, which is going to be pretty brutal for both sides. There's plenty going on down here as well. And of course the Iroquois will be paying close attention, because they could easily launch an invasion off this way as well. They're not just a threat to Mongolia and a rival to Rome. Oh, they built modern armor. That is another incredibly rare unit for the AI to build. I'm trying to see like a giant death robot. I haven't seen one yet, but I'll keep my eyes open. I feel like that's too much, asking for too much. We're not going to see one of those stomping around, as cool as they are. And there it is, the Aztec capital falls. Good timing, it goes back again, but I'm sure Mongolia will hold it down very soon. We also get a peace deal between the Iroquois and the Aztecs, and they grabbed a few of the islands. So there's a couple of sort of sparse other cities out there. But what we're going to do, it is getting slow. I've kind of changed my mind. I think I'm not going to make them fight. There's only 4. I don't think there's... The problem is, what I would have probably done is Huns v Zulu. Oh, sorry, there's 5. And like Rome, Iroquois. And then I don't know what I would have done with Mongolia in the middle. It would have been a bit harsh to make them fight like 2 people. And yeah, it didn't seem quite fair. And obviously you can already see the Huns and the Zulu are doing it themselves, and it's not exactly leading to a conclusive winner. It's an epic battle going on, but it's not like a stomp, which we don't really want. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of drop out a little bit, so I'll come back in at turn like 275 and 300 just to see how the progression goes. I'm sure they'll fight each other eventually. Rome has a massive army, as do the Iroquois. I'm sure they will both get tempted. The other 3 sort of contenders, the Huns, Zulu and Mongolia, just don't as big. They're all big, they're all massive, but they don't quite stack up to these 2, I don't think, in the east. So I'm sure one of them will get tempted by Mongolia sooner or later and go for it. We'll see. But yeah, I'm just going to drop in at sort of intervals from now on and see how it goes. Look at the size of this, by the way, 37. I know I saw it get to 52 in one of the streams I did the other week for Persia, which was crazy. I wasn't playing as Persia, someone else was, but yeah, that is 37. That's pretty impressive. Iroquois will be loving that. This region in general, pretty heavily populated. But yeah, so I'll see you at like turn 275, and then again at 300. We'll see if that gives us any more of a conclusive winner. It would be nice to like have a clear winner and not have to do it by like going through the info addicts and picking out who's won each category. So I will see you in 25 turns. Okay, we've reached turn 275, and as we did it, a big event broke out. Mongolia and the Huns teaming up on the Zulu, which is big because obviously that's a two-front war for the Zulu, but it surprised me because I knew the Huns, last time I looked, the Huns and Zulu were at war, and the Huns did nuke the Zulu at least 3 times. This city, it's all cleared up now. Oh no, there's still some fallout. There you go, there's the proof. There's a lot of fallout actually when you zoom in. These 2 cities got nuked. This one as well, with the permanent mountain radiation that they can never clear up ever again. So there was 3 nukes minimum used. I think the Zulu did use one, but only had one and used it like instantly. I don't know if they've got any more now on this city. The Huns have cleared it up much better. I'm guessing, I'm not sure why the Zulu have not cleared this fallout up. That's beyond me. That's whatever. But importantly, and more importantly than all of that, they did it. The Huns are the only one I've seen. Okay, ignore it. I don't know who owned this. I'm guessing it's an Aztec city, but I don't know if it was Aztec at the time. The Iroquois grabbed that in a peace deal, obviously. There is giant death robots from the Huns, and I say robots because there was a second one. There it is, down there. I don't know if they have any more, but that's pretty cool. 3. Wait, no, yeah, 3rd one. 4th one. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's pretty cool. So we'll see how that pans out, but that war's just broke out again, and this time with Mongolia on the east, it's going to be much tougher for the Zulu to defend. In terms of our other big civs, I don't think these guys have done an awful lot. Rome has a ton of units, but nothing particular. I think Rome's just been going around sweeping up like Zulu islands and stuff, so it's not been particularly busy, but there we go. It's just around. They're all around the world. Oh, the Huns, and maybe someone's fighting here. There's stuff going on, but there's no huge order shifts. I think the Aztecs might have been fully eliminated. No, this is it. This is all they have. Now, they are safe at the moment because there's no melee units nearby, but we will see how long that lasts. And there's Stealth Bomber. That is another unit. You don't see that frequently, so that's kind of cool as well. But yeah, we'll give it 25 more turns just to see what happens. I get a feeling we might not have a Zulu by then, just because the Huns have made some ground. It took like a lot of nuclear weapons to do it, but they've made some ground, and obviously now you've got Mongolia coming in from the east side on multiple fronts, by land in the south, by sea and land I guess in the middle, and then also by land in the north. So this could really pressure them. They'll have their navy as well probably come round. So yeah, this could be pretty rough for the Zulu, and I'm guessing you're just going to keep seeing, like, I'm guessing then Mongolia will be in the middle and they'll probably get crushed, and eventually, I mean, I don't know, either you're going to have like a mega Huns or mega Mongolia, or one of these two is going to do something about it, but we'll see how the next 25 turns play out. The Zulu are pretty much eliminated, the Huns and Mongolians, crushing them from both sides. They've got a few bits left, but I've decided, as I said, we kind of stop here, but that wouldn't be too satisfying. These two have not done anything, so what we're going to do now, we've got 4 essentially. We're going to make the Huns fight the Mongolians and the Romans fight the Iroquois. I'm promising that. I'm going to quickly save before we mess this up. Into the in-game editor. It might crash, in which case this won't happen, but we'll see. Rome. What do I do? How do I do this again? Declare war. Where's that button? You get a real behind the scenes on this channel. There's a way to do. Here it is. Declare war to Iroquois. Done. And the other one, Huns declare war to Mongolia. Right, there we go. We will give it another 50 turns. That's all I'm going to do because it's taken forever now, but we'll see what happens. If they don't fight each other that much, then there's not much else I can do. But let's see what that does to the world. Okay guys, I have gone to turn 350. Not too much happened from those wars. They both pieced out very quickly. Rome has just attacked the Iroquois again, and you can see there's a bit of fighting going on. A couple of cities changed hands, but not too much. But yeah, I can't get them to like kill each other. You know, there's nothing I can do to force it. They're not going to do it. So we're going to end it there. I did quickly run through the score system. Now, those of you not familiar with the old scoring system we would go through most of these categories, not all of them. Just for it, we'll quickly go through it again as a reminder. I did population, crop yield, production, not GMP, land area, military manpower, not approval, not literacy. We do social standing, happiness, tech. Tech was not included because it was at 80, but because they were all a tie. But if it wasn't all a tie, it would be included in other games. We do use net gold. We do use cities, science, culture, wonders. We don't use treasury because some spend it, some don't, and we've already used GMP, or net gold, sorry, which is gold gain. Same for faith. We don't use total faith because some just won't use it if they don't have a religion, but we do again use faith gain. Influence was not used. Again, it might be used in other games, but here it's not particularly fair for how the points work. Great works was used. Trade routes was not, because again it's pretty much ties. And tourism was used. How it works, for those unfamiliar, it's kind of, in a normal game you'd have like a top 10 and it would be 10 points for first, 9 for second, down to 1 for 10th place. I just did 4 points. Obviously if there's somewhere I seem to have score, and I think the Zulu do have a couple of units wandering around and some things, so I think it was me more than anything. I think it was where the Iroquois had negative gold per turn was the only real one where I finished above them, so I just gave them the point. It wasn't like they got 0, and that seemed fair. Based on that, maybe surprisingly, the Huns won with 43 points. It was very close. The Huns got 43, Rome got 42, and the Iroquois got 40, so one category makes the difference, and I'm sure there'll be someone in the comments telling me one of those, excluding one of those or including one of those, was unfair, which is fair enough. So I think I'm happy to call this a 3-way tie because I think it is one category. They've all been awesome. Mongolia sadly have got about half those points. They're just not quite on the same level. I think the graphs also show that. Where are the graphs? Yeah, I mean this graph is score, which is kind of a bit of a mix of everything from the game's point of view, and you can see Rome have led for quite a while. That's the fall of Greece when they started growing. The Aztec drop off there you can see, which is when Mongolia started to rise. The Zulu fell off here. It sort of tapered off for all the civs. I think there's not much more growth they can do. They're all, they've done all the social policies and techs that they can. They're kind of at their limit. So that's pretty interesting. Ending. Actually, so this is when I made Rome fight the Iroquois. They actually lost troops as the Iroquois went up, and now it's much more. They've all sort of equalised. But yeah, no one's really growing anymore. I don't think any of them are strong enough to individually take another one out, and they just don't seem that committed to wars. I did say Rome did just go toward the Iroquois again, so that might change, but I think it's fair to call it a tie, a 3-way tie this time around. That feels like the right result, to be honest. Bit harsh on Mongolia, if anything, for getting this far. I do think the Zulu are alive somewhere. They don't have any cities, but they do have units kicking about because I saw them propose something to the World's Congress. But thank you for tuning in. That will be it for this game. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, be sure to leave a like on the video. That really helps, and a comment with any feedback, or positive or negative or constructive, shall we say, would be nice. Don't leave hate comments, that would be nice. And what was I going to say, if you are new and you've watched this far, it'd be great if you could subscribe so you don't miss anything in the future. And yeah, keep an eye out for the next game.